Might cut out because my internet's been very weird.
That's fine. The last test will cover 9.1, so it'll probably be like 10 questions. And I will post it probably in the next day or two. Okay, it'll be due on the last day of, what do you call it, exams, which will be the 28th, something like that. Okay, so that's for this class as well as the online class. So, your last test will cover material from 9.1. It'll be about 10 questions. I'll post it in the next day or two, and it'll be due on the 28th with your other test and your final exam. Question, right, complaint. Now, that means that your final exam covers whatever test that I've given you. So I've given you 4 tests. Well, I'm going to give you 4 tests with 9.1. It'll be called Unit 4 9.1 Last Test, something like that. All right? Everybody good?
So just to clarify, there will be 2 more tests, the final and 9.1.
And 9.1, yes. The 9.1 will be your last test, and then your exam will be called final exam. Okay, that takes care of that.
What's your grade group?
Mine's got everybody's grade in there. Let's go with 9.1, and I'll just pull up the question and we'll go from there. .1 we did, or 9.2? I think it was 9.1. All right, here we go. Compute the critical value, z sub alpha 2, that corresponds to a 91% confidence level. Well, that's easy. All you got to do is pull out your handy-dandy spreadsheet that I gave you the other day. You don't even have to calculate anything.
91% alpha 2.
Alpha over 2. See the alpha over 2 right there?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's negative 1.70. Is that right? Yes.
Negative what?
1.70.
I might have rounded wrong. Let me see what they put. Oh, it's 1.70. I'm sorry. Did I have negative on the spreadsheet?
Yeah, like all of it, all the way down.
Okay, change them to positives. My bad.
And both sub
Yeah,
z sub
alpha sub 2, yes.
just in 2 though. Is
Yes, alpha sub 2 as well as alpha, yes. I was just putting the numerical, but they're just wanting the distance. My bad. Now that one's a simple question. You shouldn't have a problem with that one.
Let's do that.
Right.
Let's do 10 of those.
Yeah, please. Or that one, I can do that one too, right? No, I can't. I don't have 80 on my thing.
All right, try this one.
What do I do if I have 80 on there and it says 80?
Look it up in the table or do it on the calculator.
I don't have it on my table. I only have 90 through 99.
The table, the big one in the back.
Oh.
Oh, Lord.
I didn't know it was the same.
All right, what's alpha? Okay, let's go to that one. Talking about this one. All right, what's the difference between 81 and 100?
19.
19. What's half of 19? 8 what? 8.5. So you're looking at .0. It's like an 8.512.0850. So look up .0850 in the table.
9.5. 19 divided by 2.
Okay, thank you. 9.5. So look up .0950.
Which table? Yeah. I know. Thank you.
Hubert, you want brownie bread? I think it'll smooth things up. I already put my nose on there.
How did you put your nose on it?
I smell food.
You smell food. Okay, good. That's nice to know.
I don't eat anything like that.
Well, that's about crazy. Okay. All right. Check to make sure that we did the math right. After I get the thing pulled up, I'm gonna draw it out so you can put it in your notes. I'm waiting for it to pull up. There it is. All right. So first of all, we take alpha, and alpha is, you say 19. Therefore, alpha over 2 is equal to, what'd you say, 9.5? Now, what is that? That's 9.5%. So you got to change that to an area because you're looking up area. Alpha over 2 is equal to 0.0950. Now, you can either put it in your calculator as inverse norm, or you can look it up in the table and look up 0.0950. What do you come out with?
I got negative 1.31.
I'm sorry, this is what I heard. I got negative 1.5.
Negative 1.31.
That's much better. Negative 1.31, most of the time they want the distance. So what's the distance between 0 and 1.31? 1.31.
See if we feel good about ourselves.
I'm trying to get there. .31. Check the answer. Okay, and we did that one. Next question. I'm doing your homework for you. Y'all do realize that, don't you?
Is it not going to be the same?
Yeah, this is number 3, so I'm doing your homework for you. Determine the point estimate of the population proportion, the margin of error, the following confidence interval, and the number of individuals, blah, 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 blah. Let's just see what they give us, and let's see what we can get from it. The lower bound is 0.111. The upper bound is 0.479. And n is equal to 1,200. All right, they give us n, but what is this called? What's that called? Okay, look over your notes from Tuesday. I gave you all those things. And I'm looking for a word, 2 words.
Confidence level?
Confidence what?
Level? No,
Confidence interval. Why is it a confidence interval? Because it has an upper and a what? Lower bound. So if I was to find the middle, then that would be p hat, wouldn't it? How can I find the middle of something? We've been doing that all semester. Take the lower and add it to the upper and divide by 2. That might be it, called the midpoint or mid-range. That's right, class. So do that. Find the midpoint. I want you to find that middle number right there. Between 11% and 48%. You all watched the Republican National Convention last night?
I did.
I don't think we look stupid. I think we got a genius. He set Cruz up and played him like a fiddle. put him on at 9 o'clock where everybody could watch it. And they saw that Cruz stabbed him in the back.
All the things that were going on outside the convention.
Nobody watches that. Those people are paid.
People do watch it.
People are paid. Those people are paid. You didn't know you did?
To burn the American flag
Yeah.
outside of the Republican National Convention.
Yeah. They're paid to do that. The more anarchy and the more disruption, the Democrats love it because they can put the police under the president, and the president can declare martial law. But anyway, Trump set him up, and he fell for it hook, line, and sinker. He did exactly what Trump thought he would do. But if y'all didn't watch it, y'all have no idea what I'm talking about. Huh?
Well, he said it was because he was talking about his dad and wife before.
No, he was supposed to get
Right.
and endorse Trump. Is what he was supposed to do.
Right, but
Trump knew he wouldn't do it,
because
and even the Texas delegation was asking him to do it, and he didn't do it. And by the end of his speech, everybody was booing him off stage. And it was all up the 9 o'clock hour at prime time, and everybody said, "Oh my gosh, Trump set him up," and he did. And he took it hook, line, and sinker. Tell me that man ain't smart. He's very smart. 0.47. What do we get? What's the total?
0.295.
Oh, I wanted. Okay.
I got 29.5 because I did what you said.
0.295.
You said 11% and 27.
Okay.
20,
You're supposed to take 0.111 and add it to 0.479 and divide by 2. Okay.
I got 0.295.
Okay, good. Now that's the what? P hat, because P hat's in the middle. Now I don't know what the question's asking for. I'm just telling you what they're giving us. Now that we got P hat and we got the upper and lower brown, we know the margin of what? Good job. Y'all paid attention. What's the mode? Well, 0.295. Either subtract it from 0.479 or add it to, what is it? Or subtract 111 from it, either one. What do you get? The 0.184. Y'all check me. Is that right? So the margin of error is 0.184. I have no idea what they're asking for, so let's look at the question. Determine the point estimate. That's P hat. We've done that. Of the population proportion. Margin of error. We've done that. And the number of individuals in the sample. Well, that's, what do we do with that? How do you get the sample? Take N and multiply it by what? PQ, NPQ? Somebody remind me. I think that's it.
N times what?
NPQ. Y'all check my formulas. What does that give you? It should give you the sample size, shouldn't it?
yeah.
So somebody take 0.295, and what is Q? Let's put Q hat. Therefore, Q hat, well, is going to be 6.9. I'm sorry. That's 30 cents, so it'll be 70 cents. So it'll be 0.695 or 0.615. I can't do it in my head that quick. What is it?
0.705.
7 what?
0.05.
Oh, I said 70 cents. I don't know why. Okay. I went the wrong direction. All right, so multiply 0.295 times 0.705 and multiply that by 1,200. What do you get? No, they're asking for, might have to do the N. What's the N formula? N is equal to, I think they're asking for the sample size. N is equal to what?
Are you talking about the P
Is that one that's P hat? And the one
One minus P
It has N is equal to.
yeah, N is equal to P hat from 1 minus P hat.
This is the one I'm thinking of has a square root symbol. should have samples, SS, sample space or sample set.
Sample size is
That's
N,
it. What's that? N is equal to what?
N is equal to P hat 1 minus
P hat, Q hat. I think you were right there, but I thought it had a...
Q hat, and then in parentheses, Z alpha 2 divided by
That's
E.
it. Z sub alpha.
Or second power.
Z sub alpha over 2
Yeah.
divided by what?
E.
Raised to the what?
Second.
Is that the one you were saying, Miss Jordan?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I cut you off. I'm sorry. Miss Jordan said it first. All right. Now we've got everything we need. Huh?
That's the sample size.
Yeah. And that's what they're asking for right here. Sample. So, punch everything in. I'm not going to do that for you. And that big E down there, that's your mode. Margin of error.
How did we get the MOE?
Well, if this is in the middle, right here,
Yeah.
the margin of error is added on one side and subtracted on the other. So if you take this and subtract this, or if you take this and subtract this, you're going to get the distance between here and here, which is your margin of error. So that's going to equal 0.295 times Q hat, which is 0.705, oh, we got to get Z sub alpha over 2, don't we? Wait a minute, they didn't give us an alpha. Am I missing something? They didn't give us an alpha, so that must be the NPQ. How do I know they're not giving us an alpha? You don't see a percent anywhere. Do you see a 95% confidence interval? Okay, or level. So we might just have to do NPQ. N, so that's going to be, so just erase this because we don't have what? We don't have any alpha, so we can't do alpha over 2. So I think it's NPQ, which is going to be 1200. Somebody multiply 1200 by 0.705 by 0.295. What do you get?
49.57.
250?
Yes.
And why did I round it up? Poor old ratio. Why did I round it up?
Yeah, okay.
Can't have half of a body. Can't have half of the survey.
Right, that's right.
Of course it is. At least I know the P hat's right. 0.295. What does it say? The nearest thousandth? 0.295. I hope y'all told me right. Margin of error said round to the nearest thousandth. 0.184. And the number of individuals would be 250. If I'm reading that right, it should be 250. I'm not reading that right. Oh, I know what they're asking for. Take 0.295, the probability of this many people, so it'd be 30% of 1200, which would be 400, but go ahead and give me the actual number. 0.295 times 1200. 0.295, 30% of 1200.
354.
Okay, that's it.
354.
354 of 1200. I thought we were in the latter part of the chapter. 295 is what? 394?
354.
354. That's the right answer. See, in the later part of the chapter, we're in the first part of the chapter. You use this and you use this. We're in the early part of the chapter, so I forgot. This one you just multiply your percentage times your N. 354. All right, you do this one. Yes, I'll blow it up because half of y'all are going to start hollering. And then you're going to holler when you don't see half the page. I'm going to start writing. Right?
Yep.
As far as I can go.
I can still see it.
Determine the point estimate of the proportion, margin of error, and the sample, just like we just did. Y'all done?
I am.
Like we did in the first one, we know that the upper bound is 91%. And we know the lower bound is 62%. We subtract those and find the distance and divide that by 2, or we add them together and divide by 2, whichever one you want to do. What do we come up with? P hat. So, what is P hat? I'm sorry, what?
0.765.
0.765, is that what y'all got? Now, if you want to find the margin of error, now since P hat is equal to that, Q hat, or 1 minus P, is equal to 0.235. Okay, now somebody take 0.912 and subtract 0.765, what do you get? 0.147, and there's your margin of error. Now to find your sample, you take 77% of n. So take 0.765 and multiply by whatever 1200. What do you get? So your sample is equal to 918. Did you round up or down accordingly? Okay. So our point estimate is 0.765. Margin of error is 0.147. And your sample is 918. You feel good about yourself?
To get the sample, can you just take,
You take your percentage, 0.765, and multiply that by n. Do you have a question? Did you have a question?
I'm showing how to do it in the calculator.
Take 0.765 and multiply it by 1200, whatever the n was. 0.765 times 1200. Did you get it? 918, did you get it? Okay. All right, now they're going bass accuracy. They want you to find the what? Construct a confidence interval. So now they want you to do the upper and lower bound. X is equal to 80, N is equal to 200, and 95% confidence. So you're going to have to use your formula for the margin of error. And somebody give me that. Error, E, is equal to, I'm sorry, what?
so,
Z sub alpha over 2
yeah,
times,
the square root,
that's the one, okay, of
P hat,
P hat, Q hat
yeah, over N.
over N. There you go. Now your Z score, you should be, that's a 95% confidence level, alpha over 2. Remember to take the positive because they're just wanting the distance. Did y'all hear about the guy that tried to put the American flag on fire and he caught himself on fire? And the policeman came up to him and said, "You're on fire, stupid." Oh, I would have slipped and my elbow would have hit him. I'm sorry. I think the First Amendment is a good thing, but I don't include that. I disagree with the Supreme Court.
Yeah, you use a burner flag that touches the ground. The flag touches the ground.
Well, no. When the flag is torn and tattered, you're supposed to burn it, and you're supposed to do it in a good way. All right, somebody tell me what 95% confidence level z-score is. You should all have it because you wrote it down on the spreadsheet yesterday. 1.96. And P, oh, we got to figure out P. Well, that'd be 80 over. Oh, I think we can do this in our head because zeros cancel. So look at there. That's 0, cancels with that 0, and that leaves us with 8 over 20. Watch this, y'all. This is a trick learned in the war. If you get that over 10, then you get an answer. 4 over 10 is equal to what? 0.4. We did that without a calculator. That's what the 6 cents is for. What's the 6 cents for? 0.4. So if, oh, look at that, y'all. If you get 0.4 as P hat, then you can do Q hat in your head as 0.6. Ain't that neat? Over 200. And 0.4 times 0.6 is point what? 0.24. Over 200. Actually, we can, oh, let me show y'all another trick I learned in the war. Y'all ready? Watch this. If I divide both of these by 2, what will that give me? 0.12 over what?
Over 100.
Over 100. That means I just have to move the decimal place, what? 2 places to the left, which is 0.002. 12, sorry. Now, did you do it with a calculator?
No.
Good. And then 1.96 times the square root. Now, if you need a calculator, this is where you need it, right here. Because nobody's going to tell you the square root of 0.0012. So you have to do that in the calculator and multiply that by 1.96. What do you get?
I don't know if it's right, but I got 0.06789.
068.
0.0678. Is that what you got?
I mean, how many decimal places do you want?
79.
We hear around up.
Okay.
06789.
All right. Now, what is this? Somebody tell me what this is. Well, E, which means what?
Margin of error.
So that means that's your gap on both sides. Now, what are you going to add and subtract that to get your confidence interval? P what? P hat. So P hat is in what? I told you that a while ago. It's in the middle. So 40 cent plus, and I'm going to do it in my head, plus 7 cent is 47 cent, right? So 47 cent is your upper bound. Now, of course, yours is going to be 4 digits. So somebody take 0.0679 and add it to 0.4. What do you get? 0.4679. So that's what you should have, 0.4679.
That's my question. Do I add the P hat to the E?
Where's the P? In the what? So what do you do to the mean and standard deviation? Add it. Okay, so what am I going to do on the left side of P? Subtract it. So 40 cent minus 8 cent is what? 32 cent. I'm sorry, 7 cent is 33 cent, right? So the left side, you're going to get some form of 33 cent, 33%. So somebody take 0.4 and subtract 0.0679. What do you get? That should be your answer. So here is your confidence, CI. What does confidence I? What does CI mean? Confidence interval. Treat it, Miss Nix, treat it just like your mean and standard deviation. The mean is in the middle.
They just call it that.
Is that why the formula in the book is like T
It's like,
plus or minus?
Well, you do the same thing. It's just a different application. What?
Is that why the book in the formula is P hat plus or minus the?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The reason I show it like this is because some people grasp a hold of it better this way than showing you that and plugging it in.
Yeah, that made no sense. I looked at it before.
Okay. So here it says round to 3 decimal places. So that's going to be, somebody tell me what the lower bound is going to be, because I just got 0.33. What does it come out to be? 332? Well, it says 3 decimal places. 0.332. And what's the upper bound? 0.468. And we feel good about it. All right, you do that one. And if you can't do it, just mark it up as living in the ditch, failure, or loser. You know, I watched a good movie the other night. I love Samuel Jackson. I think he's a great actor. But he played this ex-boxer. And this reporter was writing about him. And it turned out to be that he wasn't a boxer that he was writing about. But it was a good movie. I can't remember.
The proportional interval is 35348. 35348, 44652. Who's in? Right now.
No, I'm waiting for everybody to do it.
Is 9.1 the only homework that we have in there?
It should be. Make sure I remembered the formula correctly. Somebody give me a 90% confidence interval. Remember, I just need the distance. 1.65. Oops. So that'd be 1.65. And then P, well, we take 120 over 30. Sorry, 300. Which is 12 over 30. Hey, look, we can use that trick I told you to do, which would be 4 over 10, which is what? 0.4. And if P hat is equal to 0.4, then Q hat is equal to 0.6. And that's going to be over 300. And that's going to be 1.65 times square root. And that's going to be 0.24. 0.24 divided by 3 is what? 0.08. So it's going to be 0.0008. Somebody check me.
Yes.
All right, y'all do that on your calculator. And tell me what you get. What did you get, Miss Bradley? When you, oh, you gave me the confidence interval. I'm looking for
4679.
times 1.65. Give me 4 digits. What'd you get?
0467.
Is that what everybody got? All right, that's your margin of error. So now we're going to take that and we're going to add it to, if the upper bound, we're going to add it to 0.4. Well, that'd be 0.4467. That's my upper bound. My lower bound is going to be 0.4 minus 0.0467, which would be 0.3533. Somebody help me out.
Yes. 0.35.
So you are 90% confident that your population will yield 35 to 45%. Whatever the case may be. Whatever they're asking. So we take our handy dandy mouse cursor and put in here, and we put, what does it say, around 3, so 0.353. Is that what you got, Miss Bradley? And 0.447. How are we feeling? Feeling better? Since I'm doing the homework for you?
There's going to be different numbers, so we're still going to have to do it all over again.
Alright, the numbers are getting bigger. So that means we should do what? Quit? Shouldn't we quit when the numbers get bigger?
No. I am completely good with living in the ditch.
Or a van down by the river. I am a motivational speaker, and I live in a van down by the river. $540 over 110, or 540 over 1100. 540 over 1100. Take out one of the zeros. 54 over 110. You're going to have to calculate that one. So, 54 over 110, what does that come out to be? 4 digits.
0.4909.
.4909. Subtract that from 1, please. .5091 is Q hat. No, they're not. They're good at making people stupid. That's why you got cashiers that can't give you the change back. What's the 6 here for?
If I hand them, if it's like a business,
I do it every time I can.
I'll hand them $10 bills, a nickel and a penny, and I'm not lying to you, they'll be like,
What's this?
and I'll say,
You're supposed to do simple subtraction.
I want 2 quarters.
You know, what I do is I call the manager and I say, this person shouldn't be running your cash register because they can't do simple math.
They don't probably handle cash.
I met trained this one girl who she didn't count change. Like she did
That's
not know
pathetic.
how to count. She's still cashier now, but it surprised me.
She can tell you about all the stuff you don't need to know. I don't say no.
Maybe more disappointed that she went to my hometown school.
Yep, they're going to believe whatever they hear on the news is what they're going to believe. And CNN network, that's the Clinton News Network, that they're the ones that's going to tell that Trump is the Antichrist and he's got horns on his head.
You know, he kisses his sons.
And he
When he sees them, his grown sons.
kisses them on the forehead.
Like kissing on the.
Yeah.
That's
Last night he got emotional while one of them was speaking about him. Yeah. And you can tell it.
The best thing that he's ever done in his life is I think his daughter might be a little.
Did you hear any of? Well, she's the last one. She speaks tonight. You ought to watch it. I mean.
I heard her give an interview and I didn't think that she was my little student, you know.
I mean,
She's
I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm talking, and you know men can't talk and chew gum at the same time. There we go. Now, I'm going to leave that up to y'all because I'm not going to try to do that in my head. Somebody tell me what E comes out to be. Give me 4 digits.
2096.
2096. Is that what everybody got? All right, we're not going to move ahead until somebody does it. Tell me what you get. I got to have a second.
Yes, we're at 42.
All right, so let's figure our confidence interval. Somebody take .4904 and add .2096 to it. What do you get?
7,005.
Is it 49?
4909, .4909 plus .2096. 50 be 70 cents, close to 71 cents. What is it?
0.0005.
.4904 plus
It's not 49 or 29 cents, right?
50 cent plus 21 cent should be around 71 cent.
70,005.
.70. Say it again.
005.
.7005. Okay, let's make sure everybody knows what they're doing now. .4909 plus .2096. Ms. Jordan, you got it?
Yeah, I got .7005.
What did you say? You said something that didn't make. I think I just heard .005. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I think I need to quit.
You
All
were
right.
saying 4904.
Oh, okay.
And I was like 41.
All right. .4909 minus .2096. What do you get? 2813. Now to always check it, just go 49 cent minus 21 cent. Okay. All right. Now what does it say? It says round 3 decimal places. So take your handy dandy cursor, and that's going to be .281. Oh, that's the upper bound. .701. Let's see, it must be a rounding issue. Okay, we did something wrong. Somebody gave me a wrong measurement.
Yeah.
I just redone it. I got .0248 as the margin of error.
So the margin of error is wrong?
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Well, then y'all should have spoke up and not let me go through the whole problem. Yeah, that's what I got. I got .2. Yeah, 15 minutes later. All right, now what happened? What caused the problem?
Rounding.
Okay. Somebody give it to me. .2 what? .2487.
No, 0248.
Yeah.
I can't tell the line factor.
Well, y'all need to learn how to read them. Okay, .0.
0248.
Thank you.
Or 9 because it's 6 after it. You want to write it?
No, that's good. Okay, let me do this over now. Somebody add it and subtract it for me. What do you get on the upper bound? .4909 plus .0249. What do you get?
0.5158.
.5158. And somebody take .4909 and subtract .0249. What do you get? 0.46 what? I need 4.
Yeah, I'll just throw an answer on the cost of
0.4909 minus .0249. 9 minus 9 is 0. That's why. 10 minus 4 is 6. Y'all get .4660 or 4.466?
Yeah. 466.
Okay. And that should be your answer. So we got .516 correct. And the lower one is .466. Okay. So let's look at some more questions. Let's see, where is, okay, why is this so small? 8 of 17, well, where's the other 17? Oh, all objectives, there we go. I don't know which one we just did, 17? Why is this all screwed up? Let's move to 17, 19. I don't know why this is all messed up. Y'all have to. This is it? Yeah. This says a pole won't go away. Okay, any suggestions? Okay, she's going to sit there.
Maybe click on 1, 2, 1.
Oh, it was me as operator. Okay, well, don't. A poll of 1,027 adults in certain countries found that 23%, what is percent?
Pina.
I mean, percent is a area or probability, so you might want to make a note of that. Okay, a poll of 1,027 adults in a certain country found that 23% identified themselves as some religion. The margin of error was 3 percentage points with 95% confidence. 3 percentage points, so that's 3%, or 0.03. And a 95% confidence level. Which of the following represents a reasonable interpretation of the survey results? Well,
D.
well, we know this is P hat, right? So P hat is 23%. So P hat is 23%. This is going to be what? 20% to what? 26%. And I am 95% confident that the national average, or whatever average, is going to fall between 20 and 26%. That's what I'm saying. I am 95% confident that the population is going to come out between 20 and 26%. So which one of that says that? Well, it doesn't say this one. Why? Because the other two says what?
23%.
What does this say right here? 20 to 26%. So we know we're on the right track there and there. Between. Okay, so we go over here. There is a 95% confidence that blah, 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 blah. In 95% of samples, A. Because you always want to end your sentence saying, I am 95% confident. There is a 95% confidence. So I would say it's A. Now this one, you can at least get it down to 50-50. And if you can't do that right, then just consider yourself. If you still get it wrong, then we won't talk about it.
You get these questions wrong all the time.
I don't get them wrong all the time.
This homework is kind of tricky.
How many problems have I worked over the whole semester?
A lot.
Okay, then how many percent would you say that I've gotten wrong?
95% confident.
That's about right. A 5%. 5% I would say, and that's just because the book has changed.
No, don't blame it on the book.
I'm blaming it on the book because the book sucks compared to the other book we have. All right, do this one. The other book was fine. In a trial of 75 patients who received 10 milligrams doses of drugs daily, 27 reported headache as a side effect. Use this information to complete parts A through D. And I can't do A through D without doing each one. I wish they'd let me show the whole thing.
136.
Well, 27 out of 75. Is that what you got?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first one, P hat, is equal to 27 over 75. Which one is the red herring?
2 milligrams.
So you can take your handy dandy.
It's irrelevant.
Irrelevant. Ooh, where did you find that word?
Very happy.
I tell you what, dang old articulate. All right. So that's that answer. And you said it came out to be what?
0.36.
0.36. And go ahead and tell what Q hat is. Q hat is going to be 0.6664.
Yes.
This is where you have to do the 5%. 5%. What's that one? 0.5% of N, and then the other one is NPQ. I think they're going to ask one of those. NPQ. I'm going to do NPQ because there's no way we can do N because we don't know. The trial of 75 patients. Well, we're talking in the U.S. or we talking about in South Carolina and Anderson? If we're talking about in Anderson, what's the population of Anderson? Anybody know right off the top of the head? I don't know. Somebody look it up right quick. Google it. What's the population of Anderson, South Carolina? I'm giving you a reason for this.
Population of Anderson, South Carolina.
26,985.
How much?
26,000.
Okay. So what is,
I've added 2 more.
somebody take 0.36 times 26,000. What is it?
960.
Let's get one more person in there to say it together and then we'll get it all messed up. What is it?
9360.
9360. So I think we're okay. Is that above 5% or whatever it comes out to be? It's supposed to be over 5% or something. So I'm not worried about that one. But the other one I showed you was NPQ. Remember that? NPQ. Well, we got to find Q. Q is equal to so Q hat is equal to 0.64. All right, so crank that out. What is N in our 75? So 75 times 0.64 times 0.36. Tell me what you come out with it.
I got 17.
I can't hear you.
17.
17.28.
Okay. Now, why did I just say 17? Because you can't have half a body. Okay? So, be quiet. Now somebody's going to be offended. God, you don't know how to be political correct, do you? You're not supposed to call somebody without an arm somebody without an arm. You're supposed to call them something else.
They only have a percentage of their body, though.
Okay, I know. I got somebody that got mad at me. I was showing them how to do a function in algebra. And I said, if you get on a bicycle and you don't have any legs, what happens? You fall down. You got to have legs to run a bicycle unless you got one of those. And I had somebody get offended. I said, well, you tell me what happens when somebody sits on a bicycle with no legs. Well, they going to fall down. I said, well, that's not being offended. It's called the real world. But that was almost not as good as the person that told me that they were offended because I used the word black when I was referring to myself as a black sheep. That I'm offended because you're using the color black with a negative connotation on it. I said, well, what do you call the sheep that's not white? Black. I said, okay. People are stupid. All right. So let's just read what the question says because our NPQ is 17. And let's see what the questions say. Are the requirements met? What does the requirement mean? Look back at the sheet that I gave you. What is NPQ supposed to be greater than? Look at it. It's supposed to be greater than something. I thought it was greater than 10.
0.05.
Is it 0.05?
No,
I think you're looking at the other one. There's 2 of them together. 10, yeah. It's supposed to be greater than 10. Is this one greater than 10?
Yeah.
Yes. So you'd say yes, the requirements are satisfied. C. I'm going to let y'all do this one. What does it say? Construct a what? What kind? 99. This guy's sure of himself. 99% confidence level interval. Or confidence level, sorry. They want a confidence interval. Everything's still there on Facebook, Miss Bradley?
No.
Okay.
My husband sending stuff, he doesn't.
Math is just so hard.
Not my calculator, she does a lot. Definitely, girl.
So find your 99% confidence interval. You know what? He got booed off the stage, and then this morning he got blasted by his own delegation. Did y'all see that on TV? He met with his own delegation, and they just blasted him. They said, "What are you doing?" And now, you know what he's doing now? You ready? I just read this. Fundraising for 2020.
Yeah, the whole thing was because he went family over politics. He said he supports his wife and his father over whatever Trump. Because Trump was badmouthing them, so that's why.
I know what you're saying. But the first thing is he started it.
Right, but that's why he did that, was because he's playing for the next election. That he's saying, look, I'm a family. I don't care about this crap. I'm a family man, and that's what I am. And I'd rather take what's right and support my family than getting this stuff. That's his angle. So, not a bad angle,
You
really.
think you're gonna win over the United States?
I don't think he's going to win. I don't think he's going to do anything. I think he made a fool out of himself, my own personal opinion. And I think, personally, my own personal opinion, is that what Reagan did to Carter in the 80s, Trump is going to do to Obama in this century. I really do think that.
Which is, for example.
Well, he's going to beat him, for one thing, in a landslide. I think he's going to beat Hillary in a landslide, because Hillary is running only on her name. That's all she's running on. Mm-hmm. What has she done? Name one accomplishment. I'm waiting.
Yeah, when she deleted top secret emails and got away with it, mostly because.
Okay, name one accomplishment, positive accomplishment.
You know what her campaign budget is?
I don't want to know.
$317 million. Do you know what Trump's campaign budget is?
The same as it was that he ran against 18 other people and beat all of them. And Bush had the biggest war chest of all.
And Super PAC, he took 3%, and she took 27%.
And she had like 700 people working for her, and he had like 70. Wouldn't it be great if government ran like that? I can't believe it. To me, that's brass. To ask for money. He also predicted that Donald Trump would not be the nominee. He predicted that Donald Trump would implode. And now he's predicting that he's going to be a bad president. Okay, good job. Your predictions have come out good so far. I'm sorry, I just don't have no respect for that man. I'm sorry. I had some respect for some of the others, but he's not one of them. Him and Bush, Jeb, I didn't have no respect for him.
There's another one trying to run off with his name.
Yep. All right. What are we going to do? We've got to get our confidence interval, so that means we've got to find our margin of what? Error. Y'all act like y'all know how to do this now. Z sub alpha over 2 multiplied by 0.36 times 0.64 over, I don't know what n is, 75. And is that square root or raised to the second power? Square root? Okay, can I trust y'all to give me the answer and not lead me astray? 4 digits, please.
1427.
All right, we got 0.1427. We're going to at least get 3 people to acknowledge. So far, we got 0.14. What'd you say? 27. All right, I want 2 people to confirm that number before we move on. Oh, somebody give me, what's the Z-score for 99%? 2.58? I'll put that right there. Miss Nix is talking to herself. Or was that a song you were singing to yourself? Okay, then that one gets erased.
I get
You
the
are
same
a
number,
loser,
so.
Mr. Dudek. Ditch, cardboard, dishwasher, cardboard, dishwasher.
1.64.
Now I got 1.24. 1.24 is not right because it's got to be point. It's got to be.
I got 1.14298.
1.42998. Somebody, I got to have 2 people to verify it. Hallelujah! We got 2 people, and Miss Nix brought up the 3rd. So,
I got
hallelujah. Okay, so now, what are they asking for? Their P hat is 0.36. So somebody take 0.36 and subtract 0.1430. I'm going to do it 1430. Hold on a second. Point what? 0.217. And then take 0.36 and add 0.1430. 0.5 what? 503. Look there, we got it right. Interpret the confidence interval. What does that mean? Just like I said, I am blah, blah, blah confident that it's going to fall between 22 and 50%. Which one of those say that I am 99% confident that it's going to fall between 22 and 50%? I like D myself. What do y'all think? Now you could say confident interval contains the true, no. Well, the interval contains the true value of P. Okay, does not. So what can you do with the does nots? Mark them out. And what did I tell you? I am 99% confident. Which one between D and B says that we are 99% confident? B is in Bravo. So that's pretty much going to be it. I just don't like contains the true value of P. I don't like the way that sounds. I would much rather it say we are 99% confidence that the true value of P will fall in the interval. I like that, but I don't like there is a 99% chance. I don't like that. I don't feel good about that last part. I just want to do one more because I want to make sure you know how to do it. There you go. We did this one the other day, I think. One like it. Because remember, in 9.1, how many different type questions are there? There are two types. You just did the first type. This is the second type. And what are you going to find? N, sample space. And that's that complicated one. That's the squared. Instead of the square root is squared, right? P hat Q hat over N quantity squared times a Z. Is that it? Something like that.
Sample size is N equals P hat minus 1 minus P hat.
PQ.
Okay. Is it
Over
N
N.
equals P hat times PQ? I mean, Q hat? See, I'm confused.
I'm here.
N equals P hat.
Keep going. N is equal to
1 minus P hat.
that's PQ
Okay, so
times
Z alpha squared over E.
raised to the second power. Yeah, that's it. All right, so crank that in. It says a researcher wishes to estimate the percentage of adults who support abolishing the penny. What sample size should be taken to be within 5 percentage points? So E is equal to 0.05. 90% confidence interval, that gives us our Z-score, which is our distance. And he uses a p-value, p hat, of 26%. So in A, we got p hat is equal to 0.26. Therefore, q hat is equal to 0.74. E is equal to 0.05. And somebody give me the Z-score for 90%. Huh?
1.65.
And crank it out. I'm going to let y'all crank it out. What's the rounding rule on these problems? Round up or what? Down to the nearest whole number because you can't have half of a what? Person. Let's say half of a vote. How about that?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to offend nobody.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
That's why you have to have the formula in front of you.
Yeah, I'm just confused on the P hat, Q hat. Do I multiply those two together? Yes. Thank you.
Whenever something's mashed together and there's nothing between them, it's multiplication.
E, which is 0.5.
You found her first name. I didn't know her first name was Terry.
I asked her, and she was telling me.
I just go by the last name.
I know you do, Marie.
No, it's easier because Buffy and Buffy, I could have two Buffys in the room. Or two Lemongelos. You know what Lemongelos are? Lemon Jello. Exit A. People name their kids these things. Had one guy named Montana.
I had a homeboy with me at St. Francis's. She named it. I looked at the paperwork and I was like, oh, it's orange jelly.
Yeah.
And she spelled orange jelly.
Yep.
She was like, it's arugula.
Arugula.
And I looked at her and I said, it's not. Because I've seen the name arugula. That's not spelled arugula.
So, I'm judging the,
Oh, like JJPJ?
Yeah,
this is like 1.645 instead of for the,
Yeah, I did. I put 1.65 on the spreadsheet.
right, and that's why mine,
Yeah, if you did that and you got it wrong on test, I'd check it. I'd make it right.
that's what it is.
Use 1.645, but it's not going to change it that much. It did? Oh, it did?
Yeah, that's why I did that.
Okay. Well, in that case, use 1.645 for Z. I'm sorry. 1.645.
That was for the, that was the
1.645.
It says 2.58. It says 2.575.
Okay. All right, so you said that the formula for N is equal to P hat Q hat, so that's going to be 0.26 times 0.74 multiplied by dang old something. Is this is the square, right? And 0.05 is on the bottom, and Z is 1.645. And somebody give me the number.
Well, now I have to do it over again since you changed the 1.65 to 1.645. Maybe that would be cool.
Mm-mm. You got to see the question. Can't have it both ways.
I got 2.095. I'm not sure if that's correct.
That'd be more than that, I would think. And we've done
I
something
got
wrong,
213.
man. What's
I got
Mr. Strickland?
214.
214?
Yes.
Yeah, I got 208.
Well, we're going to wait until everybody gets through calculating so we can get 2 or 3 people to agree on one number. Mr. Strickland, you said you got 208?
214.
Oh, you got 214 and you got 218 or 208. All right, somebody give me another number they got. Let me know if you matched any one of these or give me the number that you got. Okay. 15 minutes later.
Hey.
2 days later. 0.26 times 0.74, give a number there, and then take 1.645 divided by 0.05 and raise that to the second power.
Then multiply those two by that.
Yeah, whatever you get here, multiply by these two. Doesn't matter what order you do it, just multiply all 3 of them together.
Yeah, I didn't get anything close to that.
Let me pull the calculator up because evidently. Who got 208? All right, we got another 208. I'm going to pull up the calculator.
0.26 times 0.74. 0.924. 0.1924. Right? Divided by 0.05. 3.848. piece. Read.
1.645 divided by 0.05, because you got to do what's in the parentheses first, and raise that to the second power. Then multiply that by 0.74.
208.
Forget it now. I'm doing the calculator. Just forget it. Just forget it. 0.26. I'm doing it now.
It's self-gratification.
800 times point.
It ain't about you anymore.
800. What? What'd she say?
Trying her best.
I got 208. Mr. Strickland, you used 1.6465. Use 1.645. You might get the same answer. Okay.
That was probably my error.
Okay. The answer is 208. Now, when's the test? In the next couple of days.
28.
When does it end?
28.
And how many questions are going to be on it?
10.
And what section is it going to cover? 9.1. That's it. Okay. I'm going to just give everybody credit for being here today because I ain't going to pull it up. Y'all get out of here. Thank you, Mr. Strickland.
No problem. Thank you.